It's Randi Rhodes. Enjoy this free video from Political Voices Network.
Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be an interim show with rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. We want to thank Tucker Carlson for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a long-term contributor.
Yeah, rotate on this, Tucker. So Effer Carlson, which is what I lovingly call him, Effer Carlson, I can't say it on the air. It's, but it's very descriptive. I mean, people flail around and flounder around trying to come up with cute nicknames. His is Effer Carlson. Okay, he got canned, he got fired, he got removed, he got asked to exit stage left. And his last show unceremoniously was Friday. He doesn't even get to say bye-bye to his white supremacist friends. Doesn't even get to say go with God to his, white Christian nationalist audience. Wow. And everybody's sitting here going, do you think that has anything to do with Dominion? I don't know, but I think it has much more to do with Abby Grossberg. You remember Abby Grossberg? Can I just jog your memory on a Monday? Can I make you think 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I realize some of you are on Pacific time. I understand it's only noon. You just barely, rolled out of the bed. But can I make you think? Okay, so Abby Grossberg, remember her? Remember Abby? She worked for Maria Bartiromo. And then her and Maria, I don't know, came to some falling out. And so they moved her. They moved her to be a booker for Effer Carlson's show. And while she was there, in fact, the moment she arrived there, do you remember this? The moment she arrived there, she said she was inundated with sexual innuendo and stereotypes and, misogyny and nasty stuff. And it was just, horrifying over there. She said that she walked in one of Tucker's, cubicles for his, assistant who gets him, his tea and coffee and cleans up urine on the floor. Actually, had a photograph of Nancy Pelosi in a swimsuit with bulging tatas. Do you remember that? Right? And we even showed you the photo, like, why? Like, how would he even look for this? Or how would he even get... This is about meme making, you understand. And so Grossberg said that the staff there was constantly using vulgar terms for women. She was called to the top producer's office, asked whether or not Maria Bartiromo was having a sexual relationship with the House leader, Kevin McCarthy. Do you remember any of this? So anyway, she sued. Remember this. She sued because she says not only was it a hostile, vile, disgusting work environment, which proves they've learned absolutely nothing from paying claims that were filed by other women who complained about Bill O'Reilly's love of loofahs. They've learned nothing. They haven't done anything on the sexual harassment. They haven't done anything to make this workplace safe for women or a decent place for anybody to work, right? People that are not like-minded and don't, like to call women the C word, whatever. She filed a lawsuit, and in her lawsuit, not only did she claim this hostile work environment and that they were gross and vile and vulgar, but she also said that the lawyers for Fox actually convinced her to lie in her deposition against Dominion, and that she was also encouraged to defend some really vulgar, vile sexual text from Tucker Carlson. And after she did defend this vile, vulgar, disgusting, offensive text from Tucker Carlson, the producers emailed the rest of the staff and declared it Abby Grossberg Day. Happy Abby Day, they said, and they offered to staff a lunch to celebrate the bamboozling of Abby and to talk, to celebrate the fact that they were able to talk Abby into committing, she committed perjury. Something tells me that's why Tucker Carlson was fired. I don't think this had anything to do with his election denial or his propensity to, because, obviously the guy was much more into, the grievance business. He was much more into misogyny. He was much more into white nationalism than he was defending Trump, because remember, he said, we're just a few days away from a Trump-free newsroom, right? I hate this guy. I can't stand him.
I'm really glad that you immediately got into why you think, because when I think of Tucker getting fired, I'm thinking nobody ginned up more hate. Nobody race baited better. Nobody lied more for that company than this guy. So it's got to be something else.
And, he's already defended himself in a defamation scenario. And his defense to defamation was no reasonable man would believe a word I say. And that was fine with Fox. That was fine with them. Right? So it had nothing to do with Dominion. That's just, they found an easy avenue. They settled. They paid all this money. Tensions were likely running high in the Murdoch family. And they said, this would be a good time to get rid of Tucker, who's going to bring us another lawsuit, another one. And this one's going to have to do with it. And they always prevail on these because we do nothing to police our own work environment. We do absolutely nothing to make it safe for women or for anybody who doesn't agree with Tucker and Maria's crazy rantings. We do nothing to make it an okay place to work. And so she's going to prevail, and we got to show that we were willing to get rid of somebody. And Tucker is the one that she was filing against primarily because she was his booker. And so he was unceremoniously fired today. And that's exactly why what I think happened there. Really. I mean, he said on Friday, when he was leaving his show on Friday, the mifepristone case got announced on Friday. I told you the Supreme Court wasn't going to release their decision about how long they were going to hold my uterus and your womb hostage to their, Christian, their uber radical right wing version of Christianity, right? They and I said they're not going to release their opinion until after network news, right? And that's exactly what they did. But Tucker was on at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Friday. And his last words to his audience were, "I'll see you on Monday." So he had no idea that he was going to be axed. He had no idea that he was going to be fired. And, the sick thing is, and the good thing is, and here, this is the good news in all of this, is that is the reason that snot-nosed lying sack of goo that passes himself off as some member of the human species was the highest ratings getter they had. Okay. He was so contagious. He was so, people loved the virus that was him, that they actually gave him, when they launched the separate network, the one, the online only, Fox Nation. He was the headliner. He was doing podcasts for them 3 days a week. He was the one they went to. He's the one they tapped, as Sarah Palin used to say. She was the beginning of all this. You understand, Sarah Palin. I don't know why that just crossed my mind, but she is. She was the beginning of the Republican Party, not just tolerating stupidity, but embracing it, but loving on it, but saying, as long as you have good legs and you know how to put on makeup, you better wash your face. You better wash your face with Vaseline.